Hi guys, Dr. Drwendydearborne here from the Laws of Attraction in Action and Food. Yum yum. Beyond its nutrition. Well, today I am going to share with you some of the bare bones, some of the basic ingredients that you need for your pantry. This week, my niece called me and she said that she really wants to change her eating lifestyle. She really is a believer, as I am, is that food is one of the best medicines out there. Food. Nature has given us everything that we need. What it is we need to know how to put it together that's right for us so that our body can regenerate and heal itself in the way that we want it to and the way that perhaps we need it to. So that being said, my niece called me and she said, Auntie, actually she did a little blurb on Facebook and she said she was going to call me, and she did. And she said, Auntie, I'm really serious. I need to do this for me. So in hearing her, I realized that she was really serious about doing this. So I said, okay, what I will do is I will create a video with the basic requirements that you need for your pantry. So today I got up and I started pulling all this stuff out, and I had it all on the counter, like behind me. I had all this stuff on the counter behind me. And when I stood back, or when I came back, I said, when we just back, when I stood back and I looked at it, I was like, if I do this, if I have this all out here like this, people aren't going to do this. They're not going to do this. So I said, okay, Wendy, let's break it down to the bare basics of what you can get through or what you can use to recreate some of the dishes that you've created. So having just come back from London, I just sort of introduced my sisters to my style of whole food plant-based eating. And of course, I was staying with my mum and one of my sisters for some of the time that I was there. And so I bought some of the things that would be required. My other sister, my youngest sister, she actually called me and said, okay, what do I need? What's the basic stuff that I need so that I can start creating some of the recipes that you have put out there online? So after I took all this stuff out, I said, okay, Wens, you need to take most of this off of your counter. Otherwise, people aren't going to do it. It's bad enough. People are going to look at this stuff, and I know that I'll be able to hear some people hitting the ground. They're fainting. They're like, oh my God. But that being said, I know that there are many people that you look in their pantry, and this is the only thing that they have, seasonal, which is all, oh, I'm sorry, and perhaps hot sauce and black pepper. Yeah? All right? Which is all to the highest good. In order to do the whole food plant-based eating style that I am bringing to you, this isn't going to cut it. This just this seasonal, it's not going to cut it. You're going to need a whole group of things more than just this. So for those of you who just have this in your pantry, perhaps you're going to be the ones who faint on when you see my bare minimum. But that's okay. It's all a good thing. It's all about trying new stuff. It's all about experiencing. And above and beyond that, it's about recognizing that food has the ability to actually change your life. Food, why I call it food beyond its nutrition, is because in order for you to manifest that which you say that you want, whether you're doing this through affirmation and or prayer, both same thing, power of your word, you need more than just that. It's about an entire support system. It's like a little ecosystem, and food will assist and support you in manifesting that which you say that you want. So anyway, guys, let's take a look at what I have out on my counter that you need so that you can start cooking some of those delicious and nutritious recipes that I've brought to you. So let's take a look at that. Okay guys, well, I know that some of you, as you look at this, I've heard a few of you hit the ground and faint, but that's okay. When you cook up some of these delicious meals, you're gonna feel just fine. So I'm going to start with some of the basics, which is just stuff like salt and pepper. This is black pepper. It infinitely tastes better if it's in a grinder because of the aromatic oils that it puts out. But pepper, and I've got sea salt here. I also use pink salt, which is actually over there somewhere, and I will use kosher salt sometimes. But by and large, I use sea salt. I also grind it myself. We have Italian herbs. I love it. This has an array of herbs in here. It has thyme and marjoram and all sorts of different herbs. Not all Italian herb seasoning is the same. So find one that you like. I don't like all of them, but I actually like McCormick's. That's my favorite. Okay, and we have smoked paprika. Stuff like smoked anything actually can take your food to another level, especially where it's warranted. It can take it to another level. I also have some garlic granules here. These bottles, they come from, I don't know. These come from Sam's Club, okay? But garlic granules, we got those. I have thyme leaf. I use a lot of that. I have onion granules. And guys, believe me, I use the fresh one of all of these. We're just doing the dry pantry right now. We're going to get to the refrigerator pantry, which is where everything really lives. So we've got some onion powder here. I've got some jeera or ground cumin. As you can see, guys, buy a big one of these. I get this from the Indian store, the Indian grocery store. And yeah, love that stuff. I also have turmeric, or I think they call it Hildy, but I also have turmeric here. That's another one you can see. I use this quite frequently. And I have some sriracha, which is a hot sauce. I use this to make, they call it bang bang sauce. I use this to make bang bang sauce. I use this quite a lot. It's got a really nice sort of rich flavor and the heat isn't intense. I also have curry powder. I have several different curry powders, but I pulled this one out because I think this one is fairly easy to get. And if not, you can get it online. But I like Sherwood's, always have. They've got mild, medium, and hot. So guys, you know, do. This is a very, very nice curry. I like the mix because, again, not all curry powders are equal. Okay, and so that was that. Those are the spices. Basically, those are the spices that you need. And of course, you can have all of those in addition to your seasoned salt. Right, we'll get to that in a minute. You also need some stir fry sauce. Now, this is called vegan mushroom oyster sauce, and you can get an oyster sauce which actually has extracts from oysters, like the sea, oysters, crustaceans, but that's not what you're looking for. You want it to be vegetarian oyster sauce and or vegetarian mushroom sauce and or vegetarian stir fry sauce. It comes up like that too. So that's, as you can see, I use this. You should see my cupboard. It's essential to my cooking. Soy sauce is another one. You can also use Bragg's amino acid if that works for you. I use the low sodium because of all the other things that you are adding to it, including things like if you're cooking with celery, it has natural salt in it. So also you need some soy sauce. In regard to oils, I use coconut oil. This is organic, and this is actually refined, which means that it doesn't smell or taste coconut-y, because you don't want everything tasting like coconut, and that's my personal preference. I just really don't. That doesn't work for me. And believe me, I am a die-hard. You can see by the things that I've cooked, I'm a die-hard coconut user. But this is refined coconut oil, and that's organic. I have some chili oil here, guys. Chili oil. Yes, guys. Yes, it's a must. Chili oil. You need chili oil. Can take things up another level. We also have sesame oil, and I use sesame seeds quite a lot, but sesame oil, this too brings a deep, rich depth of flavor to your cooking. It just adds, many of these things that I'm showing you guys, it just adds that je ne sais quoi. What is it? I also use for frying and sauteing avocado oil. I also use grapeseed oil, and of course you saw the coconut oil. I don't use, and I don't particularly care for, believe it or not, olive oil. Not my thing, don't like it. White, I've run out of red vinegar wine, but white vinegar wine, and this is balsamic vinegar. This is really wonderful because you can get this, say a bottle of this, and you reduce it, and you can make a beautiful glaze that can go over your vegetables. This stuff, guys, this is such a wonderful way to actually cook. But white and red balsamic vinegar, I like this particular brand. They've got many brands out there, and that works. I do use apple cider vinegar, but sometimes it is a little intense and a little, I say flavor profile. It can be intense for the flavor profile. One of the things that you also need is sherry and or masala wine. I use masala wine because the taste isn't as intense as sherry. And guys, it should be a dry sherry. That being said, you don't need a bottle of sherry that's going to cost you $25 or something like that. You need, you know, Save-Ons or what have you. They're special, Albertsons special, you know, $5.99, $6.99 for a bottle. As you can see, I use a lot of this in my stir fries, and I stir fry a lot. As sweeteners go, we've got maple syrup. This is True Value. This is a Walmart special, maple syrup. And this is actually Costco's raw honey. I use raw honey when I'm using honey. Like if I'm making a dressing, a sweet and sour salad dressing or something, I'll use raw honey. One of the things, if you've seen me cook, you know I use a lot of coconut milk. And I've done a video on this, if you are unable to purchase this brand, which is a raw D, if you're unable to purchase this, then this is the next best thing. And or Trader Joe's does a really good coconut milk, and it needs to be full fat, unsweetened coconut milk. So you're gonna need that. I use a lot of coconut milk. Okay, those are the two brands. In regard to mayo, some sauces, I use this in some dishes. It just makes it rich and thick and creamy. They have something called veganese, and guys, I need to make sure that you understand I'm not a vegan, but I'll get to that in a minute. You got veganese, and I don't like the taste. It's really vinegary. It doesn't do it for me. But this is on point. Best food, vegan mayo, on point. You can find it in Kroger's, you can find it in Target, and you can also find it in Smith's. Those are the places where I've seen it. Now guys, let's come and talk about some things that are going to make a huge difference in your cooking experience. Liquid smoke. Liquid smoke can take your cooking to truly another level. The taste profile of this can either be subtle or it can be in your face. One of the things that I have realized, especially doing whole food plant-based cooking, is that many of the things that I was eating before, you could taste the smoke, but it was it was a layer that you tasted. It didn't taste like barbecue or something off the grill, not that kind of smoke. It adds just this depth and this I don't know, it just gives it some body, some oomph. This is a must, and you can have mesquite. Hickory is actually my favorite, but I'm out of that. My least favorite is apple, but you can have hickory, you can have mesquite, you can have apple. But that's a must, guys, that's a must. And Wright's is my favorite brand. The coup de gras. Okay, guys, you got me. The coup de gras. This has changed. This has changed my whole food plant-based eating experience. Okay, My whole food, and it's my version of whole food plant-based. Okay, guys, just so you know, I'm not talking about somebody else's version. I'm talking about Dr. Dearborne's version of whole food plant-based. This is vegetarian, better than bouillon, no chicken base. This is a stock. It is absolutely delicious. It's also very salty. It is, as bouillon goes, it's expensive. This might set you back, I don't know, about $8 or $9 for an 8-ounce jar. It is worth every penny in those $8. I'm telling you guys, worth every penny. I start running out of this and I start panicking. It has changed the flavor profile of everything that I do. It is actually salty, so little goes a long way. If you can't find it in Whole Foods, Sprouts, Whole Foods and Sprouts primarily, I order mine from Amazon. So guys, looking at everything that we have here, what is it if I said, okay, Wendy, you've got to hone this down, hone it down. What would I say that you would need? And before I do that, guys, you need Japanese breadcrumbs, okay? You need panko. You see my recipes, they're all with panko, Japanese breadcrumbs. This is what you need. And if you don't shop at like Oriental or Asian stores, guys, I'm going to suggest that you give that a try. I don't know what that came off of. Right, so what would you need if I said to hone this down? Okay, let's see if I can do this without chucking in everything off the edge. What would I say that you needed? Garlic powder, liquid smoke, hey, coup de grace, can't live without that. Coconut milk, actually that would be my preference. Rice wine vinegar. I would take this over the soy sauce, and I would take the honey, that, and the cooking oil. Everything else, and if I didn't mention the paprika, I think I did. Everything else, oh, and you need salt and pepper. Everything else is up for grabs. So this would be my start point. This would truly be my start point. From here, I should be able to recreate the things that I need. And if I was going for a luxury thing, if I was going for a luxury item to say, yes, please, it would be the Italian herbs. You can do a lot with this. These are the most versatile things that you have up here. Very, very versatile. So it would be the Italian herbs, of course, salt and pepper, your coconut, whichever one you can get, your coconut. The coup de grace, you'd need that. I would do the vegetarian oyster sauce or stir-fry sauce. I would definitely do that. And that's in place of the soy sauce. Garlic granules, white wine vinegar, avocado oil, masala and or, what do you call this thing, sherry. As honey goes, as sweetener goes, I would use honey. Vegan mayo, and another coup de grace, liquid smoke. So those are the things. If I was saying, okay, get your basics, we could start here and we could rock and roll. We could make it happen with just using this stuff here. We could make it happen. Okay guys, those are some of the basic ingredients that I use for my everyday cooking on my whole food plant-based journey. Believe me, there's a heck of a lot more. And as those recipes are coming up, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need so that you can build your own pantry, you can build your own arsenal. I take into consideration there are some of these flavors that it just won't work for you. I just don't like it. You know, I just don't like the taste of garlic. I'll use onion, but I'm not going to use garlic. And that's all to the highest. This is what it's all about. It's all about you doing you and figuring out what works for you. Now, one of the things that I need to tell you so you understand, I'm a whole food, plant-based pescatarian, which means I will and I do periodically eat fish. When I was in London, I had fish, and on my return, I've had fish. Actually, when I was in London, I had fish and shrimp. And on my return here to the US, I've been back, what, about 2.5 weeks or what have you, I've had fish twice. I eat fish. I am not a vegan, and it's really important that people understand that. I am not a vegan. I've never claimed to be a vegan. So, you know, when you all start sending all this stuff and negative comments, keep them to yourself. I'm not a vegan, okay? Veganism doesn't mean that you have to eat healthily. Whole food, plant-based, the underlying structure of that is that you choose foods to eat that are whole foods, beans, rice, legumes, all this sort of stuff. But I'm also a believer that it needs a little help so that it can taste delicious. Just a little help, just a little help. The other thing with whole food plant-based eating is that what you're trying to do is minimize processing. You're minimizing eating processed foods. And that's the nature of that. Fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, all of that sort of stuff. So anyway, guys, I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne. Until next time, and I'll be coming back next time with a recipe. So until next time, guys, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne. Peace.